What's going on, everybody? This is Gustav the 13th. I'm taking a look at our latest grab here from recent times. The latest clan suit, the Killy Zaku. So, right out of the gate, we can look at the weapons. As you can see here, only got some machine gun with the underslung bazooka grenade launcher on it. Heat sword as our main melee, but we also do have heat lance as a sub weapon and another Sturmfaust in there, just in case you need another stun and some damage. Not a bad kit, especially when we're talking about all these different ace configurations for Zaku's. It's not going to be super imaginable or imaginative, but it is going to be pretty effective. Of course, it's got ground compatibility, priority of 3 since it is a raid suit, and this is an event suit only, so it's going to be a minute before it even gets started in the gacha, so you're going to have to sit out on that for a bit. That being said, we can start looking at some of these stats here. So 300 cost suit with 12,000 health. Actually pretty healthy, all things considered, even at this cost. Ballistic resistance is 12, beam resistance is 6, melee resistance is 12, range strength is 5, melee strength is 25, movement speed is 125, top speed is 190, thruster gauge is 65, and turning speed is 60. Looking then at the part slots, we have close range at 11, medium range at 7, and long range at 2. I guess you can kind of figure that for most raid suits don't have a lot of long range, and it is low cost, so a lot of that stuff is still going to be reflected here. Moving on then to the skills, we have High Performance Balancer level 1, High Spec Ambac level 1, Maneuver Armor level 1, Assault Booster level 2, Emergency Evasion System level 1, Melee Combo Controller level 1, Power Accelerator level 1, Leg Shock Absorber level 2, and an Anti-Blast Stabilizer level 1. So, in general, pretty generous, considering where we're at cost-wise. Also, thank goodness, because every once in a while you get those raids, and I know mostly they're either stuff that never had it before, or it's stealth suits, but Anti-Blast Stabilizer is always a godsend regardless when you're trying to get deep in there for your combos and whatnot. So looking on then at our enhancement list, we got Cooling Support System level 1, so 3% recovery time for thruster overheat, propellant tank, which is a little bit extra more to thruster, just +1. Complex expansion slot doesn't show up until the 3rd tier here at 840, and +1 to melee modifier for the last open one. Well, once we start talking about unlocks, we're talking Cooling Support System level 1 once again, and a +4 to melee for the final one. So overall, in terms of kit and things that it can do, pretty solid on paper. You can see I changed it to a weird Zaku 1 pattern. It's not really what it's supposed to look like, but most of these never really keep their original colors, to be honest. Still, let's go try to take a gander at this over at the practice room and see how it performs in real time. Alrighty. I don't know why I did that. This is a reflex at this point. So, standard stuff. The Zaku machine gun over here, or I should say the MMP-80 because the Zaku machine gun is actually a thing, does stun in a little over half of its mag. Honestly, I was at 12 last time that I tested this, so it's a little bit more generous, but obviously the rate of fire is going to dictate where you end up stopping, not to mention the latency. Still, not bad. Good to be able to add into other people's cumulative. It of course has the underslung grenade launcher, as well as the Sturmfaust. So you can actually loop some decent stuns at mid-range while you're starting to make your approach. The bigger thing, of course, being the meat and potatoes, which is our melee stuff. From what I can gather, and from what people are saying, it is possible to get in 3 different downswings, or at least 3 different hits. So obviously, something you should keep in mind is that this only has 1 swing. You can only do 1 swing with the heat lance as a sub-weapon. So you gotta make that one count. It does instant knockover, however, so you don't have to do this big old thing, which is pretty exaggerated, and it's a little bit tough to cancel out of when you want to. So instead, most people I think are just doing this into like this, and then trying to get like one last one in there like that. The problem being is that you can't really get the full thing in there. More often than not, they're going to be left on like a little bit of a sliver, but that's a lot of damage. That's a lot of damage for the fact that you're starting with a neutral, not even another downswing. Especially since we're at low cost, and these guys don't have a lot of high defense or health as well. So overall, this is pretty devastating when you actually have the time to hit them with the full thing. A lot of times you're probably going to end up getting interrupted. Definitely do not underestimate the reach of the neutral on the heat saber as well, though. Can definitely get in there pretty well. Conversely, don't overestimate how far that can hit. There's a lot of really weird angles on these two weapons in particular. I mean, it literally just flips it up like a cricket bat. Like, this is just weird. But definitely been reliable. If you've been playing Ifrits this whole time, mashing them both into one is probably going to feel really familiar, and you're going to be right at home. Overall, though, outside of that, the kit, like I said, is very familiar. For some people who are maybe a little bit irked by having an MG as their main gun, at the very least you do have 2 stuns with the grenade launcher as well as the Sturmfaust. Just keep in mind that the grenade launcher sometimes, especially when you're trying to do splash and stuff, it's a little less generous, obviously, than rocking a bazooka. There's gonna be certain times where people resist it as well if they have some sort of explosive protection. The Sturmfaust being the heavier of the two is definitely something you should probably open up with, just because it also takes longer to ready up. Also, you know, be careful, because obviously you can still hit yourself. The counter on this isn't anything super crazy. I think it's just the usual one that you get with this. Also, keep in mind that you only have combo controller 1. You do not get a third swing, even with this. But they definitely seem to be relying on you doing some swings and cycling between your 2 melee anyway. The last thing to check in that case would be to see what kind of damage this does to base. I highly doubt a whole lot. This is definitely no Agu guy. The machine gun as well, probably only gonna do so much, especially since the range on this, you know, between being a low-cost suit and being a raid, not very impressive. I've also been having a lot of issues with that, by the way. I'm like trying to switch or hit button combos and it's like, oh, you wanted to tackle, right? Sure. It's like, no, actually. So definitely not going to be doing much good messing around with that. Every once in a while you run into a raid that can do it, but this is not one of them. Overall, though, this is a pretty good machine for pressure. If you don't mind running MGs, then just leading up with those, or you know, barfing out your Sturm and your grenade, you'll probably be able to close in on most things. And then once you do get there, you got plenty of damage between these two to finish up the job. Also, its high speed, its top speed is actually pretty impressive for something at this cost. Like right on the border of just flat out being 200. I wouldn't say you should maybe stack too much more boost on there. You should definitely try to get it up to something that's more comfortable for you. And of course, because it is a lower cost suit, it's not going to have that much defense overall. But that is what it is, and if you're used to doing low cost, you probably don't mind that much anyway. Still, we do have some matches that we got when we initially grabbed this suit, so let us try to see it in another live combat exercise in Rated, and see just overall what this thing is having to deal with. And we'll put that right around in here. Let's go! Round 2. Let's see how this goes.
All pilots, launch when ready. Make me proud out there.
Let's see how this goes.
Commencing operation. Taken some light damage. An ally is requesting support. An ally has destroyed an enemy mobile suit. Beacon captured.
Oh boy. The only one that's not getting hit is the support. Is he up top trying to pick at these guys? I'm genuinely surprised that actually hit him for damage too. Somehow that actually got splash off him, but he had MA. Wait a minute.
The enemy has captured a beacon. Beacon captured.
Hey-oh. Boop doop. Ba-doop.
Enemy unit down. Well done. Allied unit destroyed. Enemy
There you go.
infantry defeated. Allied unit destroyed.
Oh my god. This hog I fucking ganked at sea. They're gonna jump up here though.
Beacon captured. Blood components overloaded.
My leggies.
Stop for repairs. Enemy unit down. Well done. The enemy has captured a beacon. Taking heavy damage, pilot. You all right? An ally has destroyed an enemy mobile suit.
So you do have a crescent.
An ally has destroyed an
Very
enemy
good.
mobile suit.
Ow.
Allied unit destroyed. Your unit's been destroyed.
Ah, that should have tangled instead. Oh,
Where and
Somebody
how will
nailed
you
him.
redeploy? An ally has destroyed an enemy mobile suit. Get out there.
it's like several of them on that ramp that are pretty busted up.
Allied unit destroyed. Supporting fire incoming.
A little bit late with that vengeance. Oh god. Oh. Oh wow, they both got in there. Nice.
Looks like things are cooling up. Allied unit destroyed. The enemy has captured a beacon. Supporting fire incoming. Enemy unit down. Well done. Beacon captured. You've taken some light damage. You're taking heavy damage, pilot. You all right? That mobile
Uh-oh.
unit's been destroyed.
Should have just waited a little more. Uh-oh, Fi's going for the plant. As far as we can tell, most of them dropped at D, but they might be making a similar bid to make it this way. In fact,
Allied unit destroyed. Bomb planted in 2 minutes left. Bases are more valuable for this mission.
is he gonna get up?
Allied
They're all here now.
taking some light damage.
They're definitely making a bid for bomb then.
That mobile suit won't last much longer. Allied unit destroyed. Supporting fire incoming. Clear the area. You're in danger there. Move, quickly. Long-range supporting fire incoming. Ally has destroyed.
Oh.
Supporting fire hit the enemy. Don't press the advantage.
I don't know if they have enough time now. Did he kill him? It's gonna be really close. Yeah, no, they didn't get it.
Nice. We've 1 minute left.
Time to drop far away from there. Yep, there we go.
There and try again.
Run to their base. Whee!
Supporting fire incoming. An ally is requesting support.
Uh-oh. Oh my god, why?
Allied unit destroyed. Taking some light. Taking heavy damage. That mobile suit won't last much longer. Blood components overloaded.
Oh, my leggies.
Repairs. Your unit's been destroyed. Ally has destroyed you. The mission is over.
That was really goofy towards the end.
Well done, everyone. You earned this victory.
Oh my god. That diversion. Yeah, I don't think I probably did that well on this one. Yeah, 4th. But of course, the DS got to chuck our dude a lot. So he ended up feeding his way into 1st. Ugh. It be what it do, though. Alright, and that was the sortie into Killy Garrett Zaku. Overall, a little bit finicky. Especially in maps that have a lot of verticality, like Colony, you're gonna have a hard time keeping things a bit straight when it comes to doing your combos. There's also a lot of angles that you can be interrupted from. And it's gonna be a little rough to get the full done dealing, but when you do, it definitely feels satisfying. And this is a good suit, similarly, for just finishing off things when you're actually at that melee range, because it does have high output when it comes to the swings and stuff that it can do. So if you like having that 2-weapon flow and want to do something other than the usual stuff at this cost, you can definitely do worse. And overall, there might be some people who grow fond of this thing. I wouldn't be too surprised. But hopefully we do get some other particularly low cost stuff. I feel like if they're going to keep putting like 250 or even 300 more commonly in rated lobbies, then having more stuff either as clan suits or just event suits or whatever would be nice, so that we have a bit more variety. But that is the Killy Garrett Zaku in a nutshell. I say nutshell, but this is actually probably going to be a bit of a long video. Overall, let me know in the comments how you guys have been faring with this, if your clan got it. And until next time, this is Gustav the 13th. I'll talk to y'all in the next one.